what's going to put you ahead of everybody else, right? And what I'm noticing about some people don't want to make that adjustment because they want everything the way it is. And I'm just like, yo, I feel you that you want everything the way it was when you were born, but like the outside world don't work like that. I suggest that you go live off grid somewhere, build a fence around your house because this ain't gonna work. Like you trying to be like do everything that you did when you was 2 years old, and you now about pushing 70, bro. Like I don't think that that's the way to go about it. Like it don't really make sense to try to live life in a world that is moving beyond.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me. Not for the time that I spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player, I was made to build the game.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast with an elephant. It's always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. I always say with me is D. Aaron Mack. And we're back in the lab once again at 4:13 a.m. Before we get started, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all and we just want to give y'all the motivation y'all need to get out of your 9 to 5, your horrible situations, or just your situations that you feel like you have nowhere to go, because we can always move forward.
All right. So Marcus just tried to have this conversation with me. I told him to go ahead and start the podcast up because I ain't even about to go through this a second time. I got as much patience for this conversation as the actual situation that happened.
Come on.
So like, all right, and I know it could just be me, and I know at some point I will be this guy, right? At some point in my life, I'm gonna have kids, and they're gonna be looking at me like, "Daddy, this is how you do it," and they're gonna be trying to teach me something. I'm like, "I don't get it." And I'll be like, and they're gonna be like, "Look, it's not that hard," and I'm gonna be like, "I ain't never had to do this before in my life. What the hell is this shit?" I just know it's coming, bro. Like at some point, technology is gonna get that advanced, and that's gonna be the situation. So like at work, we work for a tech-based company, like, the Silicon Valley startup back in the 90s, right? So, like, everything that we do is internet-based.
Yeah.
So, with everything that we do is internet-based, I just personally, generally don't understand why people that we work with have such a hard time figuring out the simple stuff. So, the situation that came up was somebody was trained to do something, right? And even though they were trained to do something, like my man was having problems with logging in, of all things. Logging in, right? You have complete control of what email address you have. Well, I mean, not really. Your email address is like literally your first name and your last name with the company name attached to it. And your email, your password, you have complete control of that. You can write that joint down. You can text it to yourself. You can do whatever, right? But for some reason, this dude took 35 minutes to figure out how to log in. And then after the 35 minutes, he still couldn't figure it out. He ended up getting locked out. All right. So as we were having the conversation, I'm getting flack from my manager asking why certain situation ain't getting done. Is this man that told the person who's supposed to be doing it, no, don't worry about it. I can go ahead and do it. Let me go ahead and get this device so I can go ahead and make it happen. And then it didn't get done. And I because I know this person, I was just like, ignore him. Let's bypass that bottleneck and let's just go ahead and get it done. He can go ahead and do the next one because he ain't ready. He ain't in position to do this yet. So let's not even entertain this right now. So the joint ended up going out late, and he's up at the desk trying to pester me, trying to figure out how to get it done. And I'm like, bruh, I don't know your password, bruh. So how do you expect me to figure out what you got going on if I don't know your password? Well, I can tell you my no, bruh. That's not how this works, man. So during this situation, I was just thinking about every single time I had to teach somebody who wasn't tech savvy how to do something techish.
Yeah.
And just thinking about the amount of impatience that I have for that particular situation. You know what I'm saying? So I was just thinking about it. Like I was like, yo, I can't be the only one going through this, bro. Like it just don't make sense for me to be the only one. I got a spider on my wall, bro. You can go ahead and talk, dog. You see me bounce up, bro. Don't ask no questions.
Oh man, that is it. It's crazy because like it'll be something you do like almost like second nature. Like you just do it automatically, and
You know
then
what I'm
like
saying?
you come to this person and it's like they got to go through step one about 1,000 times, and then once they get to step two, they're a little confused, and I'm just like, it's it's literally it's point and click. It's like a remote, just point and
You know what
click.
I'm saying? And then on top of that, like most of the stuff that you're doing, all you got to do is just read the joint, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like if
Yeah,
you read it, it'll tell you exactly what it wants you to do.
but no, no. Ooh, oh, I we ain't got there yet. But I was gonna
See?
say it could be like a thing of fear, like
Nah,
or
nah,
what? Nah, you don't think so?
nah, nah. I don't think it is, bro. I mean, granted, let's slow burn it because
Mm,
I feel like I definitely know what it is, but I we can get into that later on in the episode, bro. But
yeah.
well, because I don't really know how many ways we can slow burn that. It sounds like we in the topic right now, like we are approaching that elephant right now. But
Fact.
it just reminded me, man, of all the times, like, bro, I promise you, bro, my mom right now, like, you know, my mom got like 6 Facebook profiles right now, bro.
Bruh.
She
That.
got 6 Facebook profiles. And I'm gonna tell you why she got 6 Facebook profiles, mom. Because every time she forget a password to one,
Mm-hmm.
she can't hit forgot password. Because once you hit forgot password, you gotta log into your email in order to get the email for the forgot password joint. But she forgot the password to that too. So every single time she tried to start a Facebook, or every single time she tried to log into Facebook, she forget her password. And it's usually whenever Facebook log you out for whatever reason. Like sometimes it log you
Mm-hmm.
out, like if it updates or something.
Yeah.
You get a new phone or something. So usually around each of these occurrences,
Cycles. Mm-hmm.
she has a new Facebook profile.
Bruh.
She literally got 6 right now, bro. That's not even a joke.
But crazy enough, that's not even like an old person thing. Like people do that regularly. Like I got a cousin that's around my age that got about the same number, about 4, 5
Come
of
on.
Facebook things, and I'm like,
Is it for the same reason though? Is it for the same reason? Because people our age they do things for a different reason.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
All right.
dude could never keep a phone, so it's mostly like every time he got a new phone, he ain't remember the password for it because, like you said, Facebook will keep you logged in for like a good little minute. If you don't log yourself out, it'll only log you out when that update happens, and people forget it because they don't. It's like the saying, if you don't use it, you lose it, and
Mm.
people our age be forgetting their passwords, and I'm like, yo, write it down or make it personal, like make it
You know what I'm saying?
something you remember. Like I ain't gonna say I've been rocking with the same password, but I remember most of my passwords.
Right.
Usually something that's like close to me, something off the top of the dome that I can remember.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, how how untouched with yourself do you have to be to just make something up and then just forget about it? It's like the password is something you need to remember. Like it holds the key to get to your Facebook account, Instagram account, bank accounts, all this other stuff, and like you forget it at the drop of a dime. Like what?
Oh, no, no.
What?
I feel that. I feel that. No, 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 no. We ain't gonna sit here and act like, because in this day and age, right, you gotta have a password for literally everything.
Everything.
I got a document. And I ain't about to remember all them shits. It'll be like different variations of the same password. I
Mm-hmm.
should have said that. That should probably be something. But anyway, it'll be like 100 some joints, right? And you got to remember the password to all of them. You ain't about to remember all that. I
Never.
don't care how much you say you gonna remember it. You ain't about to remember a password for 100 different accounts. I got a document right now that's on my computer that has all my passwords on it, and that joint long.
Come on.
I ain't about to remember all that shit, but I got a contingency plan.
Feel that. I feel that. Uh,
So
well,
go ahead.
Google will keep they'll make up for this like um super long passwords and they'll keep them saved in your account for you. Um, but it
It don't work
it's
if you get on a different computer though.
true. That's what I'd be afraid of. Like, what if I need to do something at like work or like outside of the house, and then I'm like, do
I
I have
just rather do it myself.
to? So it's interesting that you said that of all things, like remembering passwords and stuff like that, right? Because my grandma, uh, before she got dementia, right, she could remember phone numbers.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, she would have. She had a phone. No number was saved in her contacts, but she had like two of them written down, like for important people, like not important people, but people close to her, pretty like urgent people. And then like she could remember like everybody else's number, and I'm just like, but you can't work this system of like I can't remember numbers. Like
Oh
you
yeah,
talking about.
it's a very useless skill in 2020. Just just being honest, like
And I like that's for her age in that time period. Like I
yeah,
mean
yeah,
that's amazing, but like you need to adapt with the times. I'm not saying my grandma needed to adapt with the times, but like people like that, you know, that same energy could be used somewhere else. Like if you literally sit down
yeah,
and put the
no
time in,
doubt.
you can remember stuff like that. Like break it up in the sequences or break it up into like literally just chop it up and make the number smaller than what it needs to be, and then you
No
got it.
question, bro. Cause like that's a very like it takes a intelligent person to be able to remember phone numbers for multiple people, bro. And you talking about
Facts.
back in those days, like your grandma probably was like 80 some years old. So,
Mm-hmm.
like
She's in her
back in
80s.
them days, bro. I don't know what it was for people that were born around that time period back in the 40s, dog. Like they know everybody. Like got a
Yep.
whole bunch of friends. Like you can't take them nowhere without them knowing somebody, without them seeing somebody, bro. we was with my grandma up in northern Maryland somewhere. She ended up knowing somebody up there. I'm like, yo, what is this? What's happening here, bro? So like, for real, that skill for you to know that many phone numbers and just kind of like recall somebody's phone number off the top of dome, like, yo, that take a high level of intelligence. But like in the year 2020 or 2000, bro, like cell phones came out and you can save numbers. And not only that, when numbers pop up on your phone, they stay there. They stay in your call history. So you know who
Right.
you talk to on certain days. So like, yo, you can take that same level of intelligence and just say, look, I don't need to clutter my brain right now
Mm.
with this here. So I can go ahead and move on into figuring something else out. Cause bro, it take a lot of energy to remember something, bro. It take a
Yeah.
lot of energy to recall something. Like your brain only works on a certain number of neural pathways on a
Mm-hmm.
regular basis, bro. You got to tie it down to something that ain't got nothing to do with nothing, bro.
Certain
And
level of
like no
RAM.
disrespect to your grounds, dog, but like that's just reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like
it's
it's the
like
reason why I wear all black every day.
facts, facts. And I was gonna also say like about the recall boy, right? Like especially with family, like you said, like they know people, like they can go down from the very top and go down the entire family tree. Such and such is related to this cousin who had X amount of kids. They nieces and nephews is related to this person who married this person that had and they can go through it all. But like you can simplify that. Like with Facebook now, with like you
No, no, no.
can
I'm feeling that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm feeling that part. Like
the whole family tree thing.
we definitely need to have that mapped out. Like, cause my family, I ain't got no family history, bro. Like, I'm just being real with you. Like, I don't know nothing about none of the people that came before me, and I wish I did for reasons that when the future when the next generation comes along, I
Mm.
wish they had I wish they had a reason to look back in their family tree, bro. But on my side of the family, they won't have much to look at, dog. Like I'm just being real with you. So like that, knowing where you came from, I'm feeling that. Like I think more people need to take control of that situation. That might just be my take on it, but no, I'm feeling that, bro.
No, because a lot of times it gets lost. Like I remember I think we were mentioned this on a previous episode before, but like sometimes the family kind of gets disconnected when grandma passes. Like
Hmm.
the coordinator for all the cookouts, all the
Hmm.
bringing all the family, calling up the family, getting them together. It
Hmm.
it kind of ends once grandma passed. It like no one reaches out really like talking about uh like we would make trips, just like plan trips like every weekend or so. Once we get out of school, once the school week ends, we going up to grandma's house, go see grandma. And the crazy thing is, we want the only ones that's making this trip. But
Yeah,
after that happens, you kind of lose
yeah.
that. You
But
know.
um, that's usually because I ain't gonna speak for your family, but it's a generalized thing because it happens to a lot of people, right? But I
Hmm.
tell you who it don't happen to, right? It don't happen to the people who whose family are a little more wealthy and
Mm.
out of poverty. It don't happen to those families. Like they get a little distant, but they only distant because it's like I got stuff going on and I got stuff that
Hmm.
I'm doing and I'm living life. We gonna catch up when we can, but like it's about the same thing. But they do have that family bond for the most part because their values are stronger.
Oh,
And the
okay.
only value that people of our culture usually have, I ain't gonna say culture, but people of our environment have is usually just love thy mother, love thy father.
Hmm.
Ain't nothing. It ain't really too many things talking about your brother and your sister. It ain't too many things talking about that. So, definitely ain't talking about cousins in the Bible. So, I don't think that word pop up in the Bible anywhere. I don't know. I got to hit Control F on the boys.
Come on. But it's real important to keep that, to keep things going, to not just like let things die, just like let them fall by the wayside. You know, try your hardest to like remember those things. Remember the things that you know bring you together. Like I know we started this episode off of like trying to teach old people how to, not just old people, but trying to teach a old person or an old dog new tricks. Like it needs to happen. You need to be able to adapt with the times, just to do anything, because you'll get left behind in this world. Like
Hmm.
we're already on AI. Like the
Yeah.
the AI trends are just insane, to make things so much simpler, to make things easier for not only just art creators, but music creators, video game creators. It can literally simplify your entire life. Like there's business people are overemployed. There's a group of people that are overemployed. They got like 4 to like I think it's like 3 to 4 tech jobs, and they're all doing them with AI. They're all getting help with AI. And people are complaining about like, oh, AI is this gonna, it's gonna ruin my job, it's gonna take my job away from me. But there's people that are using the same tools that you're saying is gonna take your job, and multiplying the jobs that they already have to do more, to make more, to produce
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And you sitting there complaining, you sitting there, having a fit, getting having an anxiety attack because you're just like, oh, I'm gonna get swept under this wave. There's no way I can survive in today's times and all this other stuff. But there's people thriving, like on a grander scale, and because you don't want to learn this new tool, or you don't want to put the time in to advance yourself, you just gonna take it. You're just gonna get swept under the wave.
There's one thing that you just said that stuck out to me, right? You said that, we are moving into AI. And I disagree. I would go as far as to say that we have been in AI.
Well, yeah, yeah.
We already knew what AI was when we watched the Jeffersons back in the 90s. We
Fact.
already knew what it was. We already knew that the military was using, the government was using technology like this already. We
Mm,
already knew this. But what you said was, my it's trending now.
mm, mm.
It's trending now. So, I'm all about the adjustment. Do what's going to put you ahead of everybody else, right? And what I'm noticing about some people don't want to some people don't want to make that adjustment because they want everything the way it is.
Mm.
And I'm just like, yo, I feel you that you want everything the way it was when you were born, but like the outside world don't work like that. I suggest that you go live off grid somewhere, build a fence around your house, because this ain't gonna work. Like you trying to be like do everything that you did when you was 2 years old, and you now about pushing 70, bro. Like I don't think that that's the way to go about it. Like it don't really make sense to try to live life in a world that is moving beyond your level of thinking if you choose to think lower than the level that's out there, bruh. Like it's a choice. It's nothing but a choice that these people are making to stay in that darkness, bruh. And like I'm noticing a lot of people as it pertains to like the business world, bruh. Because like yo, for real, let's look at the fact that we have now moved out of the industrial era, and we're now moving into the information era. So like the Bible talked about this in short spurts, right? It's all talking about the waves of life, or the waves of life. I make sure I dictate that because the waves of life. You know, we're now in the information age right now. We just came out of the industrial age where people where there was no other way to make money than to go to corporate America. And now we are in this era where everything is online. Like we conversations are a lot shorter nowadays because we don't need to debate nothing. Like if I got a disagreement with you, like I can get on Google right quick and type in the question. Google got the answer. Also, Google been out for years. Google is also a AI system. I don't know if anybody know that. Y'all just thought it was y'all just thought it was a search engine. Like nah, Google is an AI database, bro, and it's been out for years, so you knew it was there. So it's not like you couldn't adjust. Like okay, how does Google do what it do? Like you can ask Google how it do what it do, and it'll tell you, bro. Like it'll tell you how it do what it do. So like for real, we moved into the information age, but for some reason, like you see people all the time, they stuck in that industrial era. Like it's funny, right? Because I see people our age, ma, and they still stuck in the industrial era. Bro, you weren't even born in the industrial era. How does that even work? Like I see people who born after the year 2000, bro, and they don't even have a goal outside of just working their 9 to 5.
Yep.
So when you come across these people, those people are they mad depressed, bro. They mad depressed. Like I don't know if you talked to our homeboy recently, but my man is going through it. Like he is you know what I'm talking about. He was at the wedding with us. But I don't know if I should say his name on the podcast, but my man, he real good with his hands, and I don't know why he just don't do something about that. Like he want to stay stuck in in the town that he's living in, and I see it in his face or hear it in his voice that he wants something new in his life, but for whatever reason, he just can't muster up the courage to actually just make that jump, bro. And I'm just like, yo, what is happening with you right now, bro? Like I almost told him the other day, bro, I think you need to quit. Like he was doing something and he was sabotaging so bad, bro, just because he was bored and he just wanted to be rebellious, bro. I was like, yo, I was about to be like, yo, I think you should quit. Like I think right now you should quit. Like based off of your attitude and the way you see your life right now, I think you should quit. Like I was just about to tell him that, bro. But it ain't none of my business. You can't bring the elephant too fast to people. Like you gotta ease it up on them. So I'll work on that.
That weight.
Yeah, that elephant gotta come. He gotta come a little lighter. He gotta tiptoe into the room. So, but yeah, man, like people who are are still in that industrial age mindset, dog. They are going to get left behind, and I see it happening to them right now, dog. Like they are sick. They are killing themselves right now with stress because they can't figure out that the world is moving in a different direction, or that direction they have never seen that direction being taken. So they are counting themselves out, man. Go ahead, Mark.
So, a couple of things, right? Why is that always the go-to for like a boring life. When people our age, people older, like when they get to a point of being stagnant, it's always like self-destructive or something destructive. Like they need that chaos to feel something, or like midlife crisis. It's always something destructive financially. I buy this fancy car, this whatever, to feel something, to feel alive, to feel like I have control over this situation that I'm going through, which is not really control. You're covering it up with some type of sense of need, I guess, like this sense of I need to, you know,
I
and
got you, bro. I got you. I got you. So like that's changing the conversation a little bit, but
mm,
I got the answer for you, right? It's just like somebody mm, and I tread lightly saying this, right? It's just like somebody who's depressed and cut their
mm,
wrist, bro, or somebody who burned themselves, or
mm,
anything of this, any self harm task that you could think of somebody doing. It's the same reason that anybody does it, bro. So they feel something.
mm,
Just so they feel something, right? It's like the people who are depressed, right? Like the ones like the suicidal teens, the ones who think about the self harm. They do these things because they are not in control of the emotions that they feel, and it's so many emotions at one time that they just feel numb, like
mm,
that they can't get pulled in one direction. They just feel numb. And this is, I speak from experience when I talk about this, right? So like when they feel, when that numbness kicks in, that numbness, you're numb because you don't want to feel a certain thing, but you have become so accustomed to being numb to emotions that you just want to feel something. And sometimes that feeling is physical. But with these people, you talk about the folks who in the midlife crisis, like one of my counterparts, this man, for whatever reason, you know, leaves his wife after, 15, 16 some years or whatever, and goes to buy a motorcycle, and just completely ignores his whole relationship, and gets in another relationship with one of his coworkers. It's crazy. I don't know. Hey, I don't know how that worked, but it's the same thing. Like
mm,
you desire something a little bit more. You don't know what that desire is. You don't know what the hell it is. So it's like, all right, so let me go ahead and find something that's going to make me feel like I'm getting that desired result. So let me go buy a motorcycle when, or spend a whole bunch of money on a sports car that I know I don't need. Like let's midlife crisis this thing up. Like, it's the way that the term came from somewhere. You having a
yeah,
midlife crisis. Like you got to figure out what the crisis is, bro. You got to work through that, man. Like for real. Like man, and because I was 26 years old when I got my first motorcycle, bro. Like I had to really sit down with myself and be like, yo, why do I want this? What is the purpose of this? Like I really had to ask myself, like, yo, is this a midlife crisis? I sat down with myself and like thought about it, like, is this a midlife crisis? And I had to come up with a bunch of reasons why I was, why I wasn't. Like whatever the case was, I had to be honest with myself. I had to understand that, if you're not getting that desired result, then you're going to try to find it at any means necessary. And that's what people are doing when they had these midlife crises, and they're doing these things to make themselves feel good in the moment, bro. That's all it is a feel good in the moment
yeah,
situation. So when I'm at work and things ain't going my way, and I'm thinking about how I hate my job, and how my life ain't going the way it's supposed to be going, or the things that I tried to accomplish ain't necessarily working out the way it is, and I see other people moving up the way I want to be moving up, and it ain't happening for me. the best thing that I can do for myself right now, for my own sanity, is to start sabotaging the process. The best thing I could do for my sanity is to buy a motorcycle. The best thing I could do for my sanity right now is to cheat on my spouse. So that's how you get in those situations like that, bro. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, yo, I'm not the smartest dude in the world, so I'm trying to figure out how I understand it and you don't. Or you mad, you get mad when I bring it up to you.
I think that goes with the people can't be honest with themselves. Like they can't have that moment of self reflection, like you said with the motorcycle, coming up with that list of basically like the pros and cons. People don't do that at all. People don't even look at the cons or the pros. They just they see something uh fancy, something tantalizing, and they just go for it, like just impulse. Like you said, they cheat on their spouse because they see this something new, right? Or they buy this fancy car because it looks something new to them. Like it could be an old classic or something, but because it's out of their normal, they'll go for it. They'll drop X amount of money for it. But like they can create that same feeling within themselves. Like you say, you've been working at a job for X amount of years. Quit that junk and move on. Like you've known the ins and outs of it. Like take what you learned from that job and put it into something else.
Or or don't, bro, because the job ain't the problem.
That too.
It's you that's the problem. It's you and how you think about things and how you view things that's the problem, bro. And like, and just like with the
Mm-hmm.
technology piece, bro, most people moving through this thing of life. They moving through this thing called life with defeat in their eyes, bro. They walking with defeat in their eyes, Mark. So when you walking with defeat and you got that spirit of defeat, like I'm defeated, bro. Just like with the technology piece, you won't
Mm-hmm.
understand it, bro, because you ain't trying to understand it. You just trying to you trying to you. I mean, shit. I don't know what you're trying to do, because after defeat, you done, bro. And if you walking through life done, then how can you expect to get anything?
Because like you said, they still in that industrial era, so they believe as long as they work hard, they as long as they break their back, doing something laborious, they should be rewarded. But
I
like you
mean, but bro,
said, we're not.
this ain't even about the industrial versus the information, bro. Like for real, like if
True.
something ain't working, like you taught in school, if something isn't working, figure it out. Figure out why it ain't working, and
Mm-hmm.
then work on that. So like
True.
and for whatever reason, when these people they figure out that something ain't working, they look at the wrong thing as the actual problem.
Yep.
So you out here looking at your spouse like your spouse the problem. So like you just like, all right, so this ain't working, so I'm gonna move on in this direction. Okay, all right, all right. My kids ain't working, so I'm gonna leave my whole family and because I don't. Yep, I'm gonna go about that. I'm gonna go in that direction.
So the whole family.
My car ain't working. Mm, Let me buy a new one. I don't like that.
Mm.
So,
Yep.
everything ain't working, but you make decisions to destroy your whole life, and it's like it's you making the same decisions over and over and over again, dog.
Ooh.
The same decisions, the same life altering, destructive decisions over and over and over again. You buying the new car at the wrong time. You you making new moves at the wrong time. You getting into new relationships at the wrong time. You like the same decisions over and over and over again. And a lifetime of bad decisions make a hell of an impact in your 60s, bro.
Right.
Mm.
Uh, what what gets me with that, right? Like you said, they will keep making that mistake, or that they'll keep repeating that same cycle all the way up until they deathbed, and they some people just they don't learn, and it's like, how can you go through the same for like you have to be some type of insane narcissistic to just blame everyone else. Like you done been through 10, 100, however many relationships, and like you haven't looked in the mirror and been like, why does this keep failing?
You ever looked in the mirror and said, "I'm the problem here"?
And my thing is, right, someone could be like the nicest person, someone could be, you know, exactly what you need in life, right? And they can still be looked at as a problem. Like they have not given you the ounce of evidence that they're the problem. They're trying to add to your life, but like you just bump heads with them just because someone try to add to your life, and you're just like, well, why are you doing that? What? Why are you trying to control me? But they trying to give you advice to better your life. They trying to give you advice to start that career that you talk about, that fantasy that you talk about. But because you don't want to get out of what you know, you bumping heads with the person that's trying to inspire you to be better. How does that work?
It don't, but they make it work.
Over
They
and over and
they
over
make it
again.
over and over and over again. Everything good that comes to you, everything that challenges you, is a problem because you don't like that feeling. I
Right.
mean, we dealt with so many people
Mm.
who fall on that same premise, bro. You tell them that they're doing something wrong, or and you like, and they like, well, why you just a hater? Well, why you all in my business? Okay, yep.
That you
I
telling
can I
your
can tell
business.
you, I can tell you how this is gonna play out,
Mm.
and you're not gonna like the result. You might want to slow it down. Nope, mind your business. Quiet as it's kept, bro. The one dude that I counted out, who I told him about himself,
Mm.
I, and made it very clear that you are not the person that you think you are. My man he ended up getting a promotion, bro. One of the things that a lot of people are fighting for, they want it, but they don't want it. They want it, but they don't want to challenge themselves to make it happen. And like I'm just looking around and looking around at the people that we come across on a regular basis, man. And I'm just like, yo, y'all, y'all. It's something about y'all that make me sick, dog.
Mm.
And I've been trying to figure out what it was, bro. And I think I pinpointed it during this conversation with this old cat about how to log into the system that he was trained for hours, Mark. He was trained for hours the day before and still couldn't figure it out, bro. He gave Alyssa hell when she trained him. And she was over there training him for hours. She told me, she said the class was only supposed to be 4. And this man dragged it out to 6.5 because
Right.
he needed a little extra attention. And I'm like, yo, on top of that, like that portion of getting into the system
Mm.
only takes about 15 minutes. Now I don't know. I could be. I
Woohoo.
couldn't. It's maybe the fact. It may be the fact that I might be. I might not be giving my man enough credit. He might just be trying to sabotage the process, just like our homie do when he get bored, bro. He might be trying to do that. He might just be trying to make it hell on folks. He might just be actively, because he actively sabotages in a few other places when he at work too. So
Yeah.
I might not be giving my man enough credit. He might have actually been doing that on purpose. So let's go ahead and say that. But like for real, I don't even know where I was going with that, but like, check this out, right? It's something I learned about this situation, right? Is that with success, most people who not used to being successful, the people who have counted themselves out, the people who have they walk in defeat, they need somebody to tell them step by step how to be successful whenever they're going forward. They need somebody to point them in the right direction, stand beside them, hold their hand, and point them in the way to success. They need that. And here's my philosophy, right? It's like, bro, you ain't never seen success before. You don't know what it looked like, right? You come from a household where everything was done for you. Everything was handled. Everything was laid out in a certain fashion. You went to school and school taught you X, Y, Z. So like you move on and you try to find something that's a little bit different because the way the school taught us. And I graduated in 2009. I graduated from high school in 2009. So the way school taught me was, it's a little different for how life actually works. Like, health class it ain't even relevant right now the way I learned it, right? It won't even relevant when I learned it, right? Because, kids was all, I was in health class in 10th grade with the pregnant girl. So like, for real, that it was irrelevant the way they was teaching us, and some of the stuff that we learned in all the other classes, none of it was relevant, right? The way the life values, the principles that they taught us, they didn't teach us many, so those were irrelevant. So like for real, you go through school, everything is a certain way, so when you reach the real world and you looking for things to go in that direction, right? And that's the only direction you want to go. But that success is not in this direction, yet you keep traveling this road. You keep traveling this straight path of trying to get to your version of success when success is over here. So like what I'm learning about most people, Ma, is that people need to have their hands held when they trying to find success. Every little thing that they do, somebody gotta tell you to do these things. You gotta have a person in your pocket telling you what to do at every single step. You can't make decisions for yourself. And that's the reason why people ain't gonna be successful, bro, because they can't make decisions for themselves. You can't think on your own. You need somebody to coach you through every single process. You got, bro, what's the purpose of having you around or doing anything with you if every time somebody give you a task, you gotta have permission to do everything that the task asks you to do. Like every single time you get your hands on something, you like, all right, well, I ain't do this because that's not what you told me to do. I ain't do this because, like it's just with the same thing with the technology piece, bro. Like if you ain't trying to learn it, if you ain't gonna do it, like you ain't gonna have the audacity to make it happen, it's never gonna happen for you, bro. Like you out here just like. And you got some people, bro. Like I love it when I see somebody, at work, and I put them in a certain spot, right? And that spot comes with a lot of other unspoken tasks that need to be taken care of, bro. And then you put them in that one little area, bro. They look at you and be like, "Well, I didn't do that because you told me to do this." Like, brother, you were over here. You didn't think that it was necessary to handle this little situation over here. Now we got to get a whole bunch of other people over here to handle it when you could have been doing it and you was over here with your arms folded, bro. For real, like that's how. Like what's happening
to
here?
a T.
It's not even following the rules, Mark. It's not even following the rules, bro. Because if I'm gonna say it's following the rules, then that's to call me an idiot, because you're not following the rules. You just trying to shortcut shit. You ain't following the rules. You know that doing that is extra work. And I got an open-ended excuse to say that my supervisor put me right here, so this is what I'm gonna do. I got an open-ended excuse. Like, of course, like, and for the most part, it don't get you no extra credit to do these things. And you know, folks they slide away with it, and they move on like nothing happened. There's no consequences. But the problem here is that people do this on a regular basis, and they go out in life. They go out in life and they act in life the same exact way.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't get hemmed up for it, you go and do the same exact thing somewhere else.
Go to
And
a
there have been
restaurant
people.
or
Go ahead.
they go to restaurants, they go shopping, and because say the poster or a coupon or something says you get this for this price or something, and they get to the register and then it's a price. It can be slightly off. It can be a penny off. They going ham. They blowing that thing all out of proportion. About this says this, but sir, in our system it's clearly this. Like you just pay the money or just put it back on the shelf and go about your business. No. I wanted this price and all this. The old people sit there for hours complaining with a cash register, complaining with
You know
some
what
type
I'm
of
saying?
service person
Oh,
about.
bro.
I'm like,
Come on, dog.
it ain't that
Don't do me.
serious.
Don't make me go there, Mark. Don't
Come on.
make me go there, bro. 'Cause I get stuck behind people, and I don't know where these people come from. I don't know what life these folks be living, bro. But for whatever reason, they feel like they need to argue about every cent and every dime on
Mm-hmm.
the receipt, dog. Like I was behind one dude one time, man, and this man was literally arguing with the lady about 27 cent, bro. 27 cent, because he didn't know where this 27 cent on his receipt came from, and he was really trying to figure it out, bro. He was like, I calculated this when I on the way up here. I only got this and only got that, and it should have came up to this much. And where is this extra 27 cent come from? And the woman was like, sir, it's tax.
Yeah, it'd be something so simple, bruh. Uh, my granddad was kind of like that, right? He was real tight with money, but like the crazy thing was, it's like he ain't had no reason to be tight with money, cause like this was the one that was legally blind now, right? So he would get his little bank statements or whatever, and have me read them out to him, and I'm like, man's got money. But we go into the grocery stores, and because something is just it's a little different, he going off. I'm like, bro, but you got it. Like, I understand if you didn't have it, and then you was complaining because maybe you needed to haggle a little bit if you didn't have it. But I'm like, pops, you got it. Like, why? What is happening here? Like, you ain't gotta ruin this man's day. You could literally make it. You could pay for the people behind us, man. Like, chill. Like, let's give them the money and let's get up out of here.
Your grandfather was diabetic too.
Yeah.
Yeah, my grandfather was blind too, for the same reason.
I'm like, yo, it ain't never that serious. Like,
Nah, never, bro.
and it's a bunch of people that have it way easier that'll do the same thing. Just like penny pinching, uh trying to haggle down prices for no reason. And I'm just like, why? Why put that much energy into simple situation
Let's get
that
back to the
doesn't even
point,
need
bro. Let's
nothing?
get back to the point of like, because I want to know. I'm trying to understand right now, like, how is it that how is it that folks are so we say the word blind, right? How is it that folks are so blind to their own faults that they don't make they don't make make an adjustment to actually reach for their success. Like I'm just trying to figure that part out. Like why is it that every time you get your hands on something, you gotta have somebody to tell you exactly how to handle it? Or like I understand seeking counsel, bro, but you got some people who they get so nervous about doing stuff that like they take a task from somebody, and I gotta walk you through it. By the time I'm done walking you through it, bro, I could have just did it myself. Like what are we doing here, bro? Like I don't
I
get it.
don't I don't really know too much about that. Like so, well, I've seen that happen. I've seen like you walk somebody through the process and like you could have quickly like done it yourself and then moved on. We could have moved on with the situation, but like you said, you took a 4 hour event and turned it into 6 hours. That 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 right there takes
Like
skill,
at
and
that point, we in the red, bro.
facts. Uh, cause crazy enough, it's almost like the the assessment or test that that we had to take to to train people, right? So it was like bunch of people failed it, right? Bunch of people failed it. So I'm nervous. I'm like, I was supposed to take the test after I had the class, but there was a mix up. I didn't get to take it right after the class. A lot of people did. Right after the class, people took it. I took the class months ago, and then I had to take this test. And I'm like, do I get a refresher or something? They've been saying a whole bunch of people failed it. It's like, nah, you'll be alright. It don't really matter. Basically, they said it don't really matter anyway. They was gonna still pass people that failed. So I'm a little nervous. Take the test, pass it, 90%. I'm like, it wasn't hard. Like if I would have taken it right after the class, pretty sure I would have got 100. Like it was like one question that I wasn't. It was like an acronym or something, and I didn't know the entire acronym. So that was the only question I missed, or I think I missed two. I forget how many questions. But I think it was like 20 questions. I don't know. But I'm like, if y'all had to take this test right after the class, what was the hiccup? Like, were you not paying attention? Were you just there in the class? And most of the people were not the best for that position anyway. Like, I was like, maybe that should say something about who's going for this position if they're failing it. And there was like people were getting 50s, people were getting 70s, and I'm like, it wasn't that hard. Like I was trying to take my time and like low key drag it out, but like I couldn't. It was that easy. Like it would literally be no point to just.
Like at some point, you drag this out too much, and folks just gonna automatically assume you're stupid. Just like you just go.
I would have assumed myself. I was like, hey, I can't do this. And I was just like, bloop, 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 okay, bloop, and I'm like, how did you make this simple task that hard for yourself? Like, what was going through your mind that was like, I can't do this, or this is so hard, which it really wasn't. They literally the whole PowerPoint that they had for this class gave you the answers.
Yeah,
Now maybe they
and
got
that's
some
and that's the same thing with most things. But
right.
people are so accustomed to having somebody give them the answers. Like yo, for
Mm.
real,
Mm-hmm.
and like our generation, bro, for whatever reason, they don't want to work hard. They don't want to think hard for anything, bro. Like everything has to be handed to you because and it almost feel like right they trying to fuse the two eras together. They trying to fuse the information age and the industrial age in one. So they want to still do the industrial stuff, but they want the information era side to help push them in their industrial efforts. Like they don't want to move out of doing the work themselves, because like everybody just want to work with their hands. Like no matter what you do, like nobody really thinks about that virtual money. You know what I mean? Nobody really thinks about that, that passive income. Nobody really thinks about let me work smart, not hard, right? Everybody wants to work hard. For whatever reason, they think that's the only way to even get money. But when they do it, it's like I don't want to actually do it. I just do it because that's the only thing I got right now.
Yep.
So like I'm going to use the information and try to use the information to take shortcuts. And not only that, if I'm going to use the information to take shortcuts, if I can get somebody else to do it for me, then I'm going to do that. So like those folks, they were probably accustomed, like they were accustomed to just being let into the fold anyway, because we have created a culture where we work at that people. It's the whole antithesis to our conversation right now, Mark. Like the way we do things, like we can't possibly fail these people, right? We gotta, like, bro, you do Pit 101 and you can fail it, and they tell Alyssa she can't fail people. Because if she failed people, she got to explain why she let them fail. And when she explained why she let them fail,
the guy we talked about at the beginning, that's sabotaging things because he's bored, right? He has a story like that.
yeah,
One
but
time,
at the same time, him as a person, everybody know who he is, and he's been like that, bro. So like, it's a matter of, okay, like I'm just trying to be that, that it's called a soft strike. If you ever heard of that, like when things ain't going the way you wanted to do, or it ain't going the way you want it to go, and you rebel to prove a point. Like everybody know he does that. So like when he did it, nobody was really surprised. So like the person who was in charge of that situation, she was like, bro, you ain't doing nothing but making everybody job hard. So like stop that. Like this ain't the time or the place for that. So like he got in his feelings about it. I ain't gonna say he right, but I mean he I like, let's be real, he was right. Like it's not, but it ain't that deep though.
mm,
Like he still end up working with the same people, bro. Like they ended up passing those people, and he ended up knocking himself down a notch for what? Like that's the thing that you fight for, but you're not about to fight for your own freedom.
Right. I was just about to make the analogy like that. That's the equivalent of people signing up for school and expecting the classes to be the classes.
Mm,
You take the class and you just expect them to pass. You ain't
yeah,
put in not one cent of work. You ain't read not one textbook. You just expect to pass just because you showed up.
and I'm not sure where that comes from, bro. But it's like it just like the school analogy Mark just made, right? Y'all just the course is put in front of you, bro. It's right there. It's laid out. Here's the curriculum. Here's the syllabus. Here's your class schedule.
Right.
You got all this in front of you, but for some reason you just can't figure it out. Like most of the time, like especially with us being the information age right now, school is pretty easy. It
Mm-hmm.
just takes the time and effort to put into something, bro. Like it's pretty easy. Like you can Google most of the answers that for most classes. Like not even that deep, but for some reason,
Crazy enough, sometimes it's not even an answer you gotta look up. You just gotta talk.
yeah, just a opinion.
Yeah,
Especially with college, like most of the shit is like,
opinionated.
unless you taking a history class where something has to be like
Spot
100%
on.
concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it ain't even that deep, bro. And I dread to get to that class. I fucking hate history, bro. I can't even stand it. Anyway, um, but yeah, man, I'm just I just hate it when, when I hand something off, right? And this is one of my pet peeves, bro. And I don't know if we ever talked about it or not, but like I hate when I hand something off and somebody don't do something because they were like, all right, well, you told me to do this and I didn't know how you wanted that, so I just didn't do it. Like ask no questions about it, made no assumptions. Like I much rather you assume and fuck it all up and we can just revision it down in the end, or you just ask a question about it. Like just like, yo, so I came across this right here. What you want? Where you want that? Yeah, I want it here. All right, cool, got you. Peace. But I can't imagine going on Fiverr right now, getting somebody to do something for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like they charging for their services on Fiverr right now. Right now, they're charging for their services. For people who don't know what Fiverr is, it is a website where people sell you services pretty much, like for anything from video editing, audio editing, the
Graphic
digital art
design.
creations, graphic designs, like all kind of stuff. Like even voiceovers. I got a dude to play a violin on one of my tracks one time on there, bro.
Come on.
And like my man asked me nothing. Like he asked me absolutely nothing. He was like, all right, so what do you need? I was like, I need about a 30-second joint right here. And he was like, all right, cool, got it. Any references? What kind of tone do you want it? I was like, dark. It was like, all right, cool. Bro, took him not even a full 24 hours to get back to me, bro. It gave me three separate tracks of audio to add on this song, bro. Like I was like, yo, what? My man asked me absolutely nothing. I can't imagine the other side where somebody where I ask for something and they got to keep coming back asking a whole bunch of questions like, so you said this and blah blah blah. What do you want to do with this? What do you want to do with this? How do you want this? Where do you want this to go? Blah, like everything. Like even with the book covers, bro. Like nobody asked me anything. They asked me what my vision was. I told them what my vision was. They made the vision happen. Boom, Gem State Siege cover. Like it was a little rocky with the second book, but nobody asked me any questions, and I prefer that. But if they did, like if there was a hiccup, I'd much rather you come with me with it to a hiccup than to tell me at the end when I asked for it, and you tell me that you didn't do it because you was unsure about something, bruh. You would never become successful if I gotta pull you over the finish line. You would never make it. I can't fight both of our fights for you. In fact, you become so ineffective that I'm not even gonna call for you to do anything. If I need something done, I'm not gonna come to you. Like for real, I just don't get it, bro. Like I just don't understand where people get off thinking that everything is just supposed to be handed to them. You just become such a snot-nosed kid that you just got your hand out like the little chick from Proud Family. You just got your hand out and you just waiting for the world to give you everything that you possibly want. Everything got to come free to you. Why we can't get this? Why we can't get that? Where's my this? Where's my that? Bro, go get it yourself, man. Stop waiting for people to give you stuff, bro. We got people who working for the company that we work for who bro, I just heard a conversation. I thought they were gonna blast it out last week, dog, and they didn't. And it kind of made me curious, bro. But the dude he said he waiting for his 10-year bonus and he gonna quit. My man said he waiting on his 10-year bonus. He got 2 years left, Mark. He waiting on his 10-year bonus and he gonna quit. And I'm sitting here thinking like, bro, you know how many things can happen in 2 years? You know the company that you work for could not even be in existence in 2 years? Do you know how many things could take this giant down? Bro, what are you talking about? And look, in the deep part about it, They already talking about getting rid of the bonus.
A lot of people. Yeah. A lot of people gonna be hot.
They already talking about getting rid of. Look at what happened the last time with the whole buyout thing, man. We had an old dude waiting on the buyout.
Mm-hmm.
He was waiting for it. This man was supposed to retire 8 years before he even started with the job. Been there at the job for almost 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And this man was waiting on he was waiting for a certain point so he can get the buyout. Because certain amount of years, you can go ahead and get it.
Mm-hmm.
This man was waiting for it.
Soon as he was
And by
over.
the time he got to it, they took it away.
Yep.
That's your whole entire life because you can't make decisions for yourself. You can't do anything on your own. You got to ask for permission to do everything. That's your whole entire life. You always waiting on somebody to give you a handout. And quiet as kept, they giving it to you. That's the reason why you keep going back for it. You keep getting scraps, and that's all you getting is scraps. You like a cat. You like a cat at somebody's back door. Like you got fed one time, you just keep going back to the well. You ask, you got your handout, you waiting for it. You like, you just
Scratching
every
at your
day,
nose and everything. Yep.
every day.
Yeah.
You just scratching. You just scratch like, bruh. Y'all gotta learn to make decisions for yourself, man. Because if you can make decisions for your own life and you just decide, like you gotta stop walking around with this spirit of defeat, man. That's why that's the main thing right there. You walking around defeated, and that's why you keep asking for stuff. That's why you keep expecting handouts because you feel defeated. You gotta get off that defeat board, man. You gotta get off of that, man. Like once you figure out that you can make decisions for yourself and you can move through life the way you want to move. It ain't nobody got to tell you anything, bro. Once you figure that part out, life will change for you, man. I promise it will, man.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people don't want to just get off their butt and just do it. Just change their own lives. And my
Man,
thing is like you said, where did this mentality come from? Like our parents, our great grandparents, great grandparents, they worked hard. They overcame so much. Like odds, a lot of odds was stacked against them. Like the world didn't want some of these people in like the positions that they're in now, but we were seeing people of color, of different ethnicities in higher positions and being very successful for themselves. Like I seen a motivational speaker talk about, he was doing a podcast. He was like, I don't respect people that say that you know racism is keeping them back, or
oh,
some other force is keeping them back. Get out there, work hard. If you have something of value, if you have a talent that is of value to the world, there's nothing that can stop
mm-hmm.
you. If you have something, some talent that could make you money, that someone else can, if you just provide value to some company, to some to the world, there's nothing that can stop you from doing what you want to do in life. But for some reason, we don't want to work. We don't want to strive for anything. We just want handouts. I don't understand.
And that's the thing that I was trying to say, bro. Cause like you still in the industrial mindset because that's what your parents and grandparents did. Cause you just said it. Their folks was successful doing it. Like they made it
Mm-hmm.
work. And back in the day, like they were just the only thing they did was work a job and they figured out how to raise 14 kids.
Yep.
Like they just had a job. Like and the mom stayed at home and they were able to figure out how to survive with and I say 14 because my mom is one of 14. Um like they were able to figure it out. Did you freeze? Oh, you
No,
good.
no, I'm saying.
All right. So they were able to figure it out. But now we come into this industrial age and we don't know that we need to do something different. So we try to do the same thing and just add a twist to it. So that's how you get folks coming to work and they instead of actually doing their job, they know how to cheat the system because the information is there. So they don't really need to work. So you get
I
an
like how you say
industrial
that.
job.
Yeah.
You get an industrial job that you got to put your hands on stuff to actually make things move. But because the information is there, I don't really need to do the industrial job because I can use the information to back me up.
Yep. Yep. Prime example of that was I think it was a while ago, but it wasn't like years. But I remember the new um the new way time works now. You know,
Oh yeah,
you saw people faces lit up. I could do
yeah,
what now? I can I can take off. I can get this VTO and still, accumulate such and such
yeah,
time.
yeah. The
So
unpaid time off. Yeah,
yeah, it's like, so
yeah,
I could basically not come to work for a certain amount of months and still have my job.
yeah.
But after you do that, you complaining about them not having overtime so you can make that money back. But you just sat here and abused the system, got into this financial hole, and now you want to come to work mad at everybody else.
No question, bro. Because like the information shows that if I complain about it long enough, you just gonna change it anyway. You ain't gonna make me actually work hard for what I'm trying to get. You just gonna change it if I complain about it long enough. If I do enough complaining, you gonna change it. Like now they got us doing mandatory overtime. I don't know why we doing mandatory overtime. We ain't do that much work yesterday, so for whatever reason, my people got to go in today. I don't get it, but that's how they did it. They did us like that, bro. I don't know. But if I complain about it long enough, that's what they said. They said that we heard you guys wanted you were asking about overtime last year, so we got you working overtime. But I I was just like, all right,
That just goes back to was it the previous episode? People will find anything to complain about. You get offered classes for the free. Complain about how I can't take the classes at work. You complain about them not offering overtime. Now you have mandatory overtime that you have to be there for. Now because it wasn't on your schedule, you pissed. It
but here's the thing. All that goes back to the fact that you had to ask somebody for permission. You want money. You wanted money, Mark. You wanted money. And instead of making the decision to go get money, you went and asked somebody for it.
it's almost like having a genie. You know how the original saying "Be careful what you wish for" came
Be
from
careful
like
what you wish for.
like old school genies, because they'll give you what you want, but it's always
Mm-hmm.
this
Always
twist
a
with it,
catch.
you know. And it's like people are on that heavy. Like you said, they'll ask for it, right, and then they'll complain about what's given to them because it's not exactly what they wanted. It's what you
Mm-hmm.
wanted, but you got to do it on the company's time, or you got to do it
Yeah,
the company's way.
yeah.
And the company's way, it don't really match up with what you want or what you going for or what you thought you was gonna get. Nah, the company is only in it for themselves. You are gonna have to do what you want at the benefit of the company, not the benefit of yourself.
Mm. Mm. And when you go ask for permission to make your money, that's always going to be the case.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time. I don't care what instance you put it in. If you come to me saying that you want money, you want more money, you're going to have to prove that you deserve that money. Now you're gonna have to sacrifice that for unfortunately for the job that we're talking about, you would need to sacrifice time. And you already sacrificing time anyway, so that don't mean nothing to you. But in the real world, when things are actually picking up and you actually got momentum and you doing things that people know what you do, people know what you about, in the real world, you don't have time to trade up. Only thing you have is your audacity, your tenacity, and your gift. And if you can't put that forward, you won't make it anywhere.
Yep. Yep. All right, man. We have gone over
Oh, we
time
well
like
over that time. I got school stuff to do. I got work to do.
All right, man. We've given the people, like, we've given them nuggets, we've given them advice. Like, it's up to y'all to, just do the things that, we're saying to do. Like, don't be out here expecting a job to get you out of poverty or get you the life that you want. The job is there to satisfy the job. It's not there to satisfy you. It's there to satisfy the people that don't even work in your building. Like, the job is there for the people that live all the way out in freaking Seattle, Texas, or whatever. The big buildings, that
You
skyscraper
just said something.
buildings. Hmm?
You just said something, right? You said the job isn't there to satisfy you. The job is there to satisfy the job. The job isn't even there to satisfy the job. The job only exists to keep the job there. It only exists to keep the job in existence. So
You know what? That's
it's even
crazy.
bigger than the thing that you think it is. Like and the agendas of the people that you even see at the top of the job that you have, you gotta think they're not even the top of the job.
That's true. Because I swear, some of the decisions that be made at our job literally is, it only gets made because they want to keep the building running. Like
Yeah, yeah.
we
It's
gon'
just
we gonna pull in all this work. We gonna do all this work for 5 people because we can do that. We can do that.
100-man job. We'll do it with 5 people.
Cause we gonna prove to whoever. I've never seen the people we trying to prove all these spectacular miracles that
Oh no,
we've
you
been
you did
doing.
see one of them that one time, Mister.
Wait.
You can disagree, but you cannot
Oh.
disobey. You did see one of them one time. You did see. He came. He was there.
Oh,
He was there.
once I've been there for 4 years. I only seen this man once. People been there longer, probably never seen this man.
No.
That's, yep.
But
All
yeah,
right,
let's
bro.
go ahead and wrap this up, man. Let's get
What,
after it, man.
what we got coming?
What I got coming up right now, man, I'm
Mhm.
trying to talk this young lady
Mhm.
into writing out her story and putting it out there, because like she had a very very dark background, and
Mhm.
she's one of those people that if you knew her, like, you couldn't tell that she went through all of that. And
Mhm.
like, you just like come across some folks, right? And they go through some stuff, and you can tell they went through some stuff, because they're gonna make sure they remind you that they went through some stuff. They're gonna
Yeah.
complain about a whole bunch of stuff. They're gonna keep bringing it up. They're gonna keep, playing the victim to every single thing, claiming this PTSD card, and like, for whatever reason, like they keep that in the forefront, and that situation that happened to them become their identity. So it's different when you come across somebody who lives their life and decides that against all odds. And this ain't the first young lady who I came across with a story like this. We had talks with another person who I was supposed to sit down and write their story for, but that never panned out. But yeah, I come across some people with some remarkable stories, man, and like I feel like, you know, the world needs to hear what they have to say, even if it's like in a small scale. I just think like, especially like with her situation um with her coming from an abusive marriage, was locked down for like 15 years, and you know, having to come back into the workforce. Like, I feel like that kind of story, it would appeal to a lot of women out there, because I know a lot of women who are in abusive relationships that, you know, they feel like they can't take charge of their own lives. You know, they got kids, and they letting their kids run over top of them. They got a spouse, they spouse running all over them, bro. So I feel like her story can help and inspire a lot of people. So you know, I want to. I've just started the process of making that happen. So sometime in the near future, man, like I would like to be a part of writing this biography to inspire and empower women, and add it to a listless platform, bro. Like I definitely think that, you know, these two can come together and empower some women in a way that us as grown ass men can't. You know what I mean? So you know, I'm looking forward to that, man.
Word, word, word. Still, still over here. Practicing my skills, getting my skills up. Um, we got something to talk about after the podcast. I did
Yeah,
a
no
little
question.
revision. Um, Great news. Got an interview today at 3:15. Over Zoom. Um, Basically in there, got the job with the company. I'll mention after we get off this podcast. But things are looking great. Uh, Turns out the company that Court got on with, they supplying her with, I don't know if they said a computer, but I think she said laptop, 2 monitors, and they'll pay for the internet. So I'm like, yo, word, that's a bill off our backs. Like, let's get it. Like, there's literally no room for excuses now. Like we've,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say we've been handed these things, but like we the premise of this podcast, of this episode, you know, we've been doing the opposite, and we've been getting amazing results. Like, we've been working. Like, she ain't put no other application but for remote jobs, and boom, she got a remote job. But
Mm,
other people would have been out here like put in one for one application for one remote job. They ain't get the job, or
mm.
they ain't even hear nothing from them, so they complain
Yeah,
about,
because
oh, the
they probably getting unemployment. So yeah, that's
ridiculous.
they're getting a handout.
But yeah, man, pretty busy day today. I'm looking forward to
Mm,
everything that's coming up, man. I'm excited.
yeah, yeah,
Other than
yeah,
that,
yeah.
other than
Close
that,
it out, man. I'm ready to work.
all right. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. And before we end it off, please remember to trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all. We just want to inspire and give y'all the advice y'all need to address the elephant and get on with your lives. And always remember, those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.